Bonjour. We're starting our French portions for the third semester. We're starting with the second book of Tramway Volant, and today we will be looking at the first lesson, La Fin des Vacances. I'll be dealing with that in 5 separate PPTs. The first 3 I'll be looking at grammar aspects, then we'll look at sounds and revision of sounds, and finally we'll enter into the vocabulary. So this is what we'll be studying: les verbes réfléchis, pronominal verbs; le passé composé, which is the past tense; les pronoms relatifs, we're dealing with only 2 in this lesson, the pronouns qui and que. The sounds, I'll be revising everything that we learned last year, but we'll be concentrating on 2 sounds, se and ze. And finally, we will look at la lettre d'Anita, which is your vocabulary lesson. This PPT will deal only with les verbes réfléchis, reflexive verbs, also known as pronominal verbs. So you've already come across one of them in the first semester. If you remember the verb s'appeler, you will understand better what we are going to learn in this first part of the Unit 1. So what is it? A reflexive verb, the infinitive form of the reflexive verb, is identified by an extra word known as the reflexive pronoun se. And therefore I call them se verbs because they always come in front of the verb. The subject remains the same as in the first semester and the second semester. Next to that you have a reflexive pronoun, je m'appelle. So there you have your subject, and now you have a reflexive pronoun. It means I call myself. The action is reflected on the speaker. Je is the speaker. The action is call, and the action is reflected on the speaker. So it is I call myself, a reflexive verb. So reflexive verbs are always conjugated with the reflexive pronouns, and here they are. You have me, which comes next to je. You have te, which comes next to tu. You have se, which comes next to il, elle, and on. After nous, you have a reflexive pronoun which is repeated, nous, vous, and il and elle plural se. So these pronouns precede the verb, that is, they follow the they come in front of the verb. Normally you have the subject followed by the verb. Now you have the subject followed by your reflexive pronoun, and then you have your verb. So this was your normal structure, which I've always been insisting that you remember: the subject followed by your verb followed by your object. Je is your subject, lave is your verb, les légumes is the object. So je lave les légumes has now become subject followed by reflexive pronoun, and then you have your verb and your object. Je me lave les mains, my hands, and it's hiding behind my picture so you can't see it. So je me lave les mains, remember reflexive pronouns, you're washing your hands yourself. You can never use je lave mes mains. You can't use that structure in French. You have to use this reflexive pronoun structure, je me lave les mains. Conjugation rules for all ER verbs, for IR verbs, for RE verbs, everything remains the same. The only thing that you have to do now is to add these reflexive pronouns. You have to add them into your structure. So your structure is no longer subject, verb, object. Now you have to remember, when you're dealing with pronominal verbs, it is subject followed by your reflexive pronoun, then you have your verb and your object. Okay, so now we come to the conjugation of your reflexive verbs. Like I've said earlier, conjugation rules do not change, they remain the same. Now, briefly think of your conjugations in the first 2 semesters, and I also want you to look at these 2 sentences or questions here at the back. What do you observe? What are the names of the pronouns in bold font? Do you know any other such verbs? Name them. So let's look at the first two questions now, looking at these verbs, these conjugations. Je me lève tôt, tu te lèves tôt, il, elle, on se lève tôt, nous lèvons tard, vous lèvez tard, il, elle se lève tard. Now, what do you observe? And what are the names of the pronouns in bold font? Here are the answers. I've given them to you at the beginning of the slide. You can observe that now there are two pronouns. You have your main subject pronoun je, tu, il, elle, and this is followed by your reflexive pronoun me. So there are two pronouns now. Each subject pronoun has a reflexive pronoun. Il, elle, on is followed by se. And the second pronoun in bold letters is known as your reflexive pronoun. Subject vous followed by reflexive pronoun vous. Subject il and elle plural followed by the reflexive pronoun se. So now your new conjugation structure should be subject followed by your pronoun followed by a verb. How do you form the negative? You have to put ne in after your subject and you put pas after your verb. Je ne me lève pas. Normally you will say je ne mange pas. There's no reflexive verb. Now it is je ne me lève pas à 6 heures. Il ne se couche pas tôt. Se couche is to lie down. Vous ne vous taisez pas is a very nice way of saying keep quiet, shut up. Vous ne vous taisez pas. So do you know any other such verbs? Here I'm giving you a few. Se coucher we've already met. So raser is to shave in the morning or in the evening or whenever your brothers and fathers and others decide to shave. So laver is to wash. And I've also given the verb, another verb which was not very, yeah, it's at the back. So taire, which is to shut up. Alright. Now, these are some sentences. Normally I would write them on the board and ask you to put them into the negative form, but now you can try and write them down and practice them. But I want you to put these sentences into the negative form. These are the positive form. You have elle, subject, and then you have the reflexive pronoun s'amuse. You have to put it into the negative form. Remember, elle will be followed by ne, and then pas comes after your verb. So your sentence will, negative sentence will have to follow the structure, subject followed by ne. Why have I put it inside straight brackets? Because it is not, or not all sentences are negative. So you have subject followed by ne, then you have your pronoun, then you have verb, then you have pas. Okay, so this is the structure you have to follow, and based on that, this is your first answer. Elle ne s'amuse pas bien pendant le weekend. Now the next one, mon père is your subject, mon père, and seras now is your entire verb. So your answer should be mon père ne seras pas chaque jour. Pendant la fête, in the next sentence, we're not going to touch that at all. Pendant la fête means a time during the festival. It has nothing to do with your main sentence. Your main sentence starts here in the middle of your sentence. Nous is your subject. So look at that. Nous régalons bien. We enjoyed ourselves during the festival. And the negative form is pendant la fête, nous ne nous régalons pas bien. We did not enjoy ourselves. Tu te lèves vers 7 heures comes back to the normal type of sentence starting with your subject, and therefore the negative will be tu subject followed by ne negative followed by te lèves verb, and then you have pas. Tu ne te lèves pas vers 7 heures. Il se couche tard pendant les vacances. Here you have pendant les vacances again, which denotes time. Now it's coming towards the end of the sentence. So you can see these expressions that denote time. They can start the sentence. They can come at the end of the sentence. They don't have a fixed place. Il se couche tard. They went to bed late during the vacations. And this is the negative form. Il ne se couche pas tard pendant les vacances. Okay, now let's look at the imperative mode. The imperative mode, as you know, is the order tense. the command tense. We learned this last year, last semester. It is the mode that is used when you want to give orders or commands to people. Therefore, there are no subjects. Even in Tamil or in English, when you're giving an order to somebody, you do not say "ni va" or "you come." You say "come." You just use the verb. That is the imperative mode. Alright, there are no subjects, remember that. And you cannot speak to somebody who's not in front of you. Therefore, you cannot give an order to je. Some people give orders to themselves. For example, I often tell myself, okay, Adeline, stop being lazy, get up and, do your work. But I change je into tu and I speak to myself. All right, I cannot give an order to je. I cannot give an order to il or to elle, whether they are in the singular or the plural form. I can only give orders to people in front of me, people I can see. So I can give an order to tu, I can give an order to nous, and I can give an order to vous. Alright, I have to remember the verb conjugations of only these three pronouns. Is that clear? Tu, nous, and vous. Now, when you conjugate the être, the er verbs, remember, there's one extra thing that you have to do. Look at the conjugation of parler. This is the tu form. This is the nous form, and this is the vous form. What do you notice? In the tu form, I have removed the s. So for all er verbs, whether it is aller, which is the only irregular er verb, or any other of the regular er verbs, when you take out the verb form of tu and use it in the imperative mode, you have to not use the letter s. Every other verb, like ir verbs, the s is not removed at all. So tu for fini, the ending is is, and that remains the same, as you can see. F-I-N-I-S, tu fini, I do not remove the s. Finissons and finissez. So fini is finish it quickly. Finissons, you're talking to a group, so you tell your group, let us finish this work quickly and then go for lunch. And finissez, I'm talking to you as a group, and I say finissez vite et sortez de la classe. Okay? Now let's apply this to the reflexive verbs. Since the subject is not used, we are left with two words now. Now, what are these two verbs? Subject I have crossed out. Tu has been crossed out. Nous has been crossed out. Vous has been crossed out. In spite of that, now I have two words. Earlier, I had only one word. Now I have two words. One is the reflexive pronoun and one is the verb. So what do? I can start a sentence with the subject pronoun. I cannot start it with a reflexive pronoun. So therefore, I have to keep the pronoun, the reflexive pronoun, in the second place. And then I add a hyphen before the verb. Why? Because I want to tell everybody that it is not in its normal place. So instead of te lève, it becomes lève-toi. Lève-toi, get up. The principal is coming. Le directeur arrive. Lèvons-nous. It is no longer nous lèvons, but lèvons-nous, il est 8 heures. And lèvez-vous, c'est l'heure. It's time. Get up. Okay? Why has te? Over here you have te, isn't it? So why has this te become toi? Only for pronunciation's sake. You cannot end a sentence in an order with te or me or ke. You have to convert the te or the me or the ke into a tonic form, emphasis based form. So here it is not lève-toi but lève-toi. It is for pronunciation's sake and for emphasis sake. Te is not as emphatic as toi. Okay. Now I want you to practice with these three verbs: se taire, se raser, s'asseoir. You have to think of only the tu form and the nous form and the vous form. You have to remove the subjects, and now you have two small words left. Take the second word, put it into the third position now, and separate both the words with a hyphen. So let's look at these conjugations on the next slide. I have done them for you because se taire is a very common word, but it's a verb you like forgetting. It is the verb to shut up. You shut yourself up in French. It is something for which you need a lot of self-control. So it's a reflexive verb. Shut yourself up. Alright. I've removed all the unnecessary conjugations and subjects. So we are looking only at the tu conjugation here. Over here we're looking at the nu conjugation, and over here we're looking at the vu conjugation. And when I make it into the imperative mode, this is what I get. Tetva, shut up. Taisons-nous, taisez-vous. Alright, I hope this is what you thought of. So raser, I'm not going to do. I think you can practice on your own because it's a regular ER verb. Let's go on to s'asseoir, which is also a bit difficult because the conjugation is a bit different. Therefore, I've done it for you. Hopefully, you will remember when you see it. This is the tu conjugation. This is the nu conjugation, and this is the vu conjugation. When I change it into the imperative mode, this is what I get. Assieds-toi, asseyons-nous, asseyez-vous. And you remember I used to always tell you asseyez-vous when you got up to greet me when I entered the class. Okay. Now, we've done the imperative mode. We know how to use it to give orders. Now let's find out how to ask questions with these words. Hopefully you will remember that there are 3 ways of framing questions in French, and the same rules apply to the reflexive verbs. Let's revise it very quickly. This first rule here is the, do you remember what it is? It is the inversion form. Alright, so this is my subject pronoun tu. Tu te lèves is your normal sentence. Here I have put tu, I've taken it from its first position, I've brought it out of behind the verb. Te lèves hyphen tu. Why the hyphen? Remember, whenever your subject or your pronoun is not in its correct place, you need a hyphen to tell the reader that it is not in the correct place. Donc, te lèves-tu à 6 heures? That is your first form of interrogation using the inversion form. Take the subject pronoun, keep it after the verb, put a hyphen between the verb and the subject pronoun. The second one, which is slightly more easier, is you use the suffix, prefix, whatever you call it, esque, which sometimes has no meaning. Sometimes it means is, isn't it? It means does, doesn't. It is flexible depending on the situation. I normally don't translate it at all because it is stupid to say, is it that we get up now? No, just leave it. Don't look at it. But when you look at it, just remember that now you're looking at a question. Alright, you have to concentrate on the subject now. Nous nous lèvons maintenant. Are we getting up now? Alright. Just put esque in front of your words, your sentence, and you get a question. Or if you're feeling very lazy, you can use this very colloquial way of asking questions. Don't think about inversion, don't think about esque. Just take your normal sentence, subject followed by vous couchez, and use your voice to ask a question. Vous vous couchez maintenant? Are you sleeping now? So the first one is te lèves-tu à 6 heures? Because I invert, I'm asking a question. The second one is esque. When you hear esque, you know it's a question. Est-ce que nous nous lèvons maintenant? Or you just use the sound of your voice. Vous vous levez maintenant? Are you getting up now? You can practice these with the 2 verbs se coucher and se taire. And I also want you to try the exercise 3C, which comes in lesson 1 if you have your textbooks with you. If you don't have your textbooks, I have given you these exercises in the LMS platform. Go to your LMS platform and check out the classwork number 1, which is a lot of exercises on the reflexive pronoun. And if you have any doubts, you please contact me. Thank you for listening. Study well. Bonne chance.